for what are the things which is causing such a mitigation between the 40%, which is the national average, and the individualistic groups, which have much lower averages as low as, 17, 18%. There's obviously something going on in these religious groups that's causing them to divorce much less than non-religious groups.
Well, in most religions, it tends to enforce the marriage and the consistency of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then the
So,
idea is
so it would
that,
seem that it is a little bit
yeah,
more successful. Yeah. But that
yeah.
still doesn't remove the risk factors, and it doesn't also address the issues of modern women not being marriageable material.
Well, hang on. Those are two different arguments. Whether or not you think that modern women are marriageable, we're talking right now just about the risk of divorce. What do you consider to be an acceptable divorce rate?
Well, given family law, 0 would be acceptable.
So zero. Well, if that's the case, then there could never be an institution of marriage because there's always going to have to be at least some divorce, right? Based on some circumstance. That's reasonable within reason.
Yeah, sure. But given family law and how hostile it is to our fathers and the likely outcomes that exist with them, would you like me to go over the outcomes?
They can be real bad.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, but that's not what's in dispute here.
Okay, well, what are we in dispute of right now?
Well, what we're in dispute of is that how many of these men who are in these particular groups are ever going to have to deal with those outcomes if their divorce rates are really low because they're in those groups? It could be the
It's
case that the
only
outcomes are
lower.
bad,
It's not really low. It still exists.
but that's
I can
really
give you lots
low.
of examples of,
Well,
of guys that. Sorry,
well,
go
you,
ahead.
you just try to get it to 0%, just like there's no divorce. That's not utopian. It sounds very utopian to me.
What's wrong with that?
It's impossible, like pragmatically impossible, that you're going to completely eliminate divorce for any number of different reasons. One could just be easy, like somebody is diddling kids in the marriage. You're going to, and they
Okay,
want a
but
divorce. That seems
why
rational to
would
me.
why would anybody invite the government into their life to make decisions about their wealth, their access to their children, how the knot is untied, the power shift that goes from him to her during the untithing of the knot? Why would anybody want to take on that risk given the outcomes and how bad they are?
Because the outcomes are only bad if you get divorced. They're not bad if you
Right.
don't get divorced. And so
Okay.
if your chance of mitigating the divorce is really high and your chances of not being divorced are over 80%, if you're part of one of these groups, then that seems like an acceptable risk mitigation, right?
Well, it's only marginally lower.
No, it's not marginally lower. It's much higher. I mean, much, much lower,
Yeah.
significantly lower.
Well, you're giving me
11%
numbers
compared to
around
the 40%
11% for
national
atheists.
average is what? Go ahead. Sorry.
You're giving me numbers for 11% for atheists, yeah?
Well, no, also Orthodox.
Okay.
Orthodox is very low too.
Okay. So it's